can stop sticking those telltales on my wing the other way around.
So we did this literal cartwheel.
Which driver do you think would be the worst wing trimmer?
You do some stupid stuff.
You like to have control of things, eh?
Yeah. It's the wing trimmers making the drivers look good.
So you must be Paul Campbell-James, wing trimmer of the Canadian team?
I am Paul Campbell-James, wing trimmer of the Canadian team, and I heard you're a SailGP legend, current title holder, Flo.
Absolutely no.
Trittle.
I'm Florian Trittle, the Spanish wing trimmer, and your apprentice.
Yeah. Right. Ready? Can I ask him a question? Why do you love being a wing trimmer?
I actually love it. And I would say it's because it's the one of the most complex roles on board. I don't know if you agree with that.
Yeah, it's the funny thing about these boats is the wing trimmer has so much more control than any other boat, isn't it? Like, actually, if you were to put someone who'd never been sailing before into the boat,
yeah,
I would, in those back three roles, I would 100% put them on the driver. I wouldn't want an inexperienced guy on the wing trimmer because you'll capsize, and I wouldn't want an inexperienced guy on the flight controller.
Okay, you like to have control of things, eh?
Yeah.
Okay, let me go with something for you. What is something about being a wing trimmer that people wouldn't think about?
I don't think people realise they do have control over everything. I mean, I'm repeating myself, but yeah, everyone thinks that the drivers are the guy that is making these boats go, but actually it's the wing trimmers making the drivers look good.
And maybe as well that we have not only a sheet or ropes on these boats, but we also use buttons and joysticks for trimming everything we trim, which is it could be the jib sail, it is raising that old board out of the maneuvers, it is adjusting the profile of the wing.
And spending a bit of time driving as well.
And spending a bit of time driving, so yeah, it's an all-round job, eh?
Yep. Have you ever overruled the driver on a call and been dead wrong?
Absolutely, yes.
100%.
That I learned that from you, mate.
But you can't make a call and get it right every time.
Exactly.
But you're better off making a confident call and to have a plan than to have no plan.
Yeah, to be doubting around between different options.
Yeah.
I agree. How important is the communication between yourself as a wing trimmer and the driver?
Yeah, I mean, it's massively important. And this is where you have an advantage over most of the teams here, right? Because you've sailed with Diego for such a long time that actually you don't really need to chat that much.
Yeah.
You see it the same with Pete and Blair. There's not that much communication. Well, although Giles and I have sailed together a lot, we haven't sailed in that kind of driver wing trimmer setup. He's more been the strategist where I've been the wing trimmer. So
I found it also quite interesting, like for example, looking at your onboards, obviously we have access to all the data and the Canadian team is up there and I've always been trying to learn from you.
Likewise.
And looking at your onboards, I find it quite interesting that every now and then Giles asks you to talk to him. Talk to me, Seats, talk to me. It's because probably he is eyes out of the boat and us as wing trimmers we're eyes into the boat, no?
Yeah, do you know, I found this really interesting when sailing with Ben and sailing with Jimmy, where I really was conscious that I didn't want to teach them to suck eggs effectively and tell them how to do their jobs, but they need it and they want it because they want to be able to look around and do other stuff and they don't want to have to concentrate on sailing the boat, and that's kind of our job, right? To make sure the boat is being sailed well while they can do other stuff.
And then at the same time, this inner will of competing from us, we also want to be racing not only eyes in but also eyes out, no? And that's where the complexity of the wing trimmer role comes into play.
You want to make sure no one's making any mistakes in all the other jobs, and in doing so you got to make sure you don't do a mistake yourself.
Yeah.
What's the hardest venue to sail in as a wing trimmer?
Wow. Not easy.
You didn't do Cows.
Exactly.
Cows was the hardest.
Or maybe New York season 1.
New York season 1.
I was not there.
I was coaching that event actually. That was before my time.
Yeah, I would say generally the hardest ones are the ones that it's very unstable, no? The breeze is very unstable up and down, left and right, and predicting or having to adjust so much to the changes.
Remember Saint-Tropez?
Yes.
Windy day. Actually, it wasn't that windy, but really wavy.
Yes.
Like, oh man, the wavy conditions just make it impossible. Right?
I agree. Probably waves is the biggest enemy of these F50s.
And if we were to be here in wind against tide, which luckily we're not this weekend, this would be the hardest venue.
Okay.
Because the short chop in the Solent would be impossible for these boats.
Okay.
So
it's important to get those dates right for the Grand Prix in Portsmouth.
And I'm not sure if that was, we were just lucky or, or
that
well
was
planned,
foreseen.
but they've nailed it. Right, your turn.
My turn. Okay. What is the hardest part about being a wing trimmer? Be honest. I saw you look. Be honest.
I was going to say the helmsman getting all the credit. No, I'm joking.
Nah.
What's the hardest part? No idea.
Yeah, probably as we said, the complexity of the technical part of so many different factors, and having to be all round in many areas.
I think the bit that I've watched you and see that you do well is you keep that windward heel on the whole time, even when you've got to work out some other stuff, you know, where I lapse concentration slightly and my windward heel comes off when I'm doing something else. So that's the hardest bit for me, is just making sure that you've got to have that concentration for hours a day.
Yes.
Even coming in yesterday, I was like, oh my God, I'm having to work right now to make sure this boat doesn't get too leeward heeled, otherwise we're going to have a wipeout.
Yes.
And you've got a lot of control there, so that concentration is pretty tricky.
I think grass always looks greener on the other side, and actually it could be the same from my perspective about you. So
yeah. We'll just watch Chris and Blair then.
Exactly.
What part of your own game do you think needs improving the most, and why?
Wow.
Can I suggest your one?
Yes, please.
Social media.
Okay. Thank you, mate.
You've got to be able to say no to the social media.
Okay.
You do some stupid stuff.
Yeah, I think I can very much agree with you.
Yeah.
And
how about for me? I like answering each other's questions.
Yeah, that's good. That's a good point. What can you?
More sun cream on my nose.
I think you can stop sticking those telltales on my wing the other way around. You know, CJ and I, we have this. Yeah, I don't know if it's a game or if it's a fight, but every morning before going out, the last one possible sneaks into the opposite team wing and just sticks a telltale on the wing, so it's opposite and everything is.
Did you see mine from yesterday?
Yes. Did you see mine from today?
No.
Go find out, mate.
Oh, your turn.
My turn. Oh, this is a long one.
No.
How have you both had difficult times with team changes?
Yeah.
Paul with USA and Flo with Geordie leaving. What did you learn from those moments?
So I've had 4 helmsmen really, and Ben and Jimmy could not be more opposite. Ben is just fire, and Jimmy is just so chilled. So those two were really opposite, and getting the best out of those two was very different. And then changing to Phil, who's like the loosest cannon ever, to Giles, who's the most prudent man I've ever met. And it's just those two, the changes between the personalities and the helmsmen are really interesting. And actually our jobs as wing trimmer is trying to get the best out of the helmsman.
Absolutely.
And put the boat in the right state of mind so that they can perform at their best. And to do that with Ben and Jimmy was a very different process, and to do that with Phil and Giles is also a very different process. So
yeah, and I guess that's one of our big challenges, not be adaptive, and as you say, take the most out of every driver that you sail with, out of every team member. And I feel like the wing trimmer role is a role where you want to adapt and get the greatest out of the package you have. No? And for example, my learnings from the changes that we've had over the last seasons, which have been not only a few, the biggest learning is that stability in a team, where we're racing against the best teams and you don't have training days is one key factor. No? And I think we've managed to pull that off for the last season and a little bit very well, and that has helped us a lot.
Yeah, just touching on that, going back to one of the questions earlier was, what's the hardest bit? Yesterday's setup was, if we had the perfect day, which we didn't because there was no wind, we would have had 36 minutes sailing yesterday.
Yes.
Which is ridiculous. Like, that is the hardest bit, like no training. And we've run a totally different foil package this weekend. So, being able to hit the ground running is bloody hard.
Exactly, bringing in new people and so on, it's all quite challenging, eh?
Yeah, I mean, it's almost impossible to bring new people in, and it'll be really interesting to see if the Americans do go with a new wing trimmer today.
Exactly.
I mean, I fear for their lives.
The forecast has dropped, that's a good thing.
Yeah, true. What is one SailGP moment that you wish you could relive? I think I know this one for you.
Oh, do you know? Yeah, you're probably
coming
thinking
across
about
the finish line of the final, surely.
Obviously, but yeah, I don't know.
Or was it beating us in San Fran this time around?
Probably. Just looking back and seeing CJ behind me, that's not something that happens every day.
a lot at the moment. Do you know what?
Probably sailing with the Spanish again, no?
Yeah.
Back to coaching us and helping us.
Do you know what? I did love that time we did in New Zealand where we've got the new wings for the first time. The new wings was such a massive upgrade.
Absolutely.
And then working out that you could sail with 3 people on board. Like that had never been done before. And just like throwing it around the racecourse with only 3 people and working out that you can twist the wings so far and have so much control. That was fun times. And I really enjoy those testing days as well.
Yeah.
But nothing quite beats San Fran season 2, 35 knots or 30 knots. However many boats, 10 boats coming off the start line, everybody doing over 50 knots within a metre of each other, everyone completely out of control. That was an epic day of sailing.
Absolutely. I guess the racing is at the end now. We're racers and those moments, racing and high performance.
I tell you, the New Zealand day 2 would have been good this year.
Yes.
Unfortunately, we had an injury, so we didn't do it, but that looked like some epic racing.
That was epic. Yeah. On the new foils, fully loose. Nobody knew what he or she was doing.
Everyone was out of control. That looked fun.
What is your pre-race routine to get in the zone?
Shower shave.
Okay. I knew something special.
No, you might have to ask that again. No. We do a little bit of warm-up, stretching. Tom's very good at yoga. His wife's a professional yoga instructor, so he does a good warm-up with us. Then other than that, I like to go to the boat real early and do a little bit of tinkering and making sure that everything's good in my area.
Nice.
And in everyone else's area, generally, which annoys everyone else.
So you're the dad of the team, no?
Yeah. But I like to get to the racecourse early. I like to be super over-prepared. And
Could one say that is a British attitude or no? No.
I don't know.
No, because
I don't think it's the same for every Brit.
Spaniards, yeah, that's true. As Spaniards,
you're a bit looser.
A bit looser in that sense.
A bit more chaotic.
Comes with culture, I guess. But we also, in our pre-race routine, stretching all together and just try to get in the zone by connecting to each other in that morning rehearsal. And I think what is also very valuable for everyone on board is to visualize some videos before going out, because obviously we don't have the hours on the water, and then just get our brains back into the numbers and visualizing that is a good rehearsal. Yeah,
but it's tricky when you think it's going to be one wind speed and it's totally different when you get out there. You know? Like if we looked at today's forecast yesterday, we'd be setting up for a lot of breeze, and then you look at it this morning and you're setting up for something completely different.
Absolutely.
So, yeah, it's tricky that. What's something from your personal life that has helped you become a better sailor?
I would say definitely everything we've done around meditation and just that, working out how the brain and the mind works.
Yeah, interesting. I'm going to go completely the other way.
Okay.
I got an aeronautical engineering degree and a pilot's license, which I think made me think differently. I think more like an engineer since doing that than. And I think that I analyse things very differently having done that than I did before.
Which driver do you think would be the worst wing trimmer?
I would have said Ben Ainsley, but he's not driving anymore.
Exactly.
I'm going to go with Giles.
You're going to go with Giles?
Yep.
Hard
worst
one.
wing trimmer.
Wow, hard one.
It's got to be a single-handed sailor.
He's got to be.
Which means slingers, but I think slingers will be all right.
Yeah, he's sailing them off quite well, eh?
Yeah.
It's
I'm going Giles.
Okay, then I'll just go with Giles like you. Couple more to go.
What's your scariest memory sailing?
Yeah, I think it was the capsize in Cadiz for us. When we tried to reach the race area.
Was that with Phil?
That was with Phil. It was very windy and we were still quite inexperienced. And we just had to bear away once to sail downwind to the race course. And that bear away ended up in a massive nosedive and us flying around and capsizing.
You got thrown off there, didn't you?
Breaking the wing. That was the biggest one for us, I would say.
Yeah. The obvious one would be my leg break.
Yes.
But I actually didn't find that scary. We had one moment in the America's Cup World Series in San Francisco when I was with the Luna Rossa team, where we did a pitch pole. So the nose went down and we went over, but then the stern went to leeward and then the bow went over again. So we did this literal cartwheel, and we were on the back corner of the boat, which is where I was driving from, and we were held underwater just as the boat went over. It was only for a few seconds, but yeah, just that you only need a few seconds of being held underwater before it's pretty scary.
Absolutely.
And I've
And
taken
you were
all
wearing, obviously carrying no
back then,
spare air, nothing.
no, we didn't have spare air. No, I'm not sure if we had spare air there.
That's age, when you forget stuff. And
Well, spare air came in the middle of that cut.
yes,
So
exactly.
I think we might have had spare air by then, but yeah, it's even so, being held under for a few seconds when you don't want to be is pretty scary. And man, taking the safety stuff now a lot more serious than I used to.
100%. What is one SailGP moment that you wish you could forget?
Not sailing on that second day in New Zealand, that was pretty painful. Sitting there watching you guys have a lovely boat around. That's probably it for me.
Yeah, I would say the whole process about splitting with Jordy and that restructuring of the team, it was not easy on a personal level.
But the split with Phil was okay, was it?
The split with Phil, it was a different one. We didn't have such a close and tight friendship.
Yeah, fair enough.
And yeah, in that sense, it's not that I would forget it, but it's a hard one.
Yeah. What would you change about the F50 wing?
Oh, okay. What would I change? Maybe the size. I would go from 29 meter to 27.5 or something.
Oh, that's convenient. They've slowed the twist speed down.
Absolutely.
With these new foils.
100%
I want
agree.
the fast speeds back. I much prefer the fast speeds.
I agree. We need to find arguments to tell them that it's not the reason why the
wing broke.
Aussie wing broke in San Francisco.
Yeah, and I think there's too many people who are advantaged by slowing the wing down that are pushing for it.
Yes.
I think it's made the boats harder and worse to sail.
I agree. Performance is not so good for us. Have you ever lost confidence in your own skills during a race?
No.
Okay.
Well, I guess sometimes I look at the data afterwards and I'm disappointed with my performance.
I agree.
Not quite the same, but
maybe not losing confidence, but feeling like you haven't delivered your personal best, and then
actually, and New York day one was that for me.
Yeah.
Because I was fighting for one thing to happen on the jib and then looked at the data afterwards and it was completely wrong. But it was just a feeling that I got on the day and it was completely wrong. So
yeah, these things happen, make us grow.
Yeah.
Last one.
Last one. If you could steal one attribute from the other person, what would it be?
Well, I have that already. Yeah, one attribute. So one attribute from you, huh?
No.
From the other person.
From the other person.
Yes. So that's the best question of all. Yes, the hair. No, you would steal from me. I understand. Now I would steal. I think you've got a nice humor.
Copy.
And
you're young.
Okay, that's all, eh?
Yeah.
All right. Thank you.
All right. Nice, man. Good luck today.
Go check out your wing, the telltale.
Oh, yeah.
Starboard side.
Still in. It is still in. I'll go and get it now.
You know,
yours is up already, so I'm looking.